You're listening to Margins, a mini episode of The Magnetic Pull. These are off-the-cuff moments pulled from the archives of live workshops, guest features, and Q&As with me, Amy Pearson. These minis are unscripted. They are less polished, but they're still potent. Take only what you need. Let's get into it.
Just ways I can improve my hooks would be amazing.
Okay. I love the visuals. I mean, of course, you're all designers, so you've all got like visually pleasing feeds, which is great. This is a really great way to talk about what I was showing you before. So I'm going to go back because it's actually there. Here we go. Without positioning, your brand is just another option. This is a great hook, but the language can be tweaked. So positioning is the word that is probably not magnetizing, right? Because positioning is, I like to put this in, and my whole thing was strategy. Like that's what I used to talk about at Designer Boss and all of those things. I was really deep on brand strategy because having been a designer for so many years and doing so well with that, I realized that the people were really only getting the best results with me if they were doing proper strategy work with me. And so what I learned though was almost nobody wanted strategy. And so I just made it part of what I did. This is it. You don't get a choice. We do strategy. And that's why it costs this much or whatever. But the word strategy, competitors, positioning, they're all very corporate. And when we're talking in a corporate way, we're not attracting the type of people that we want to attract on socials. Because even if we want to attract a corporate business, the corporate people aren't the ones scrolling. It's the people they're paying to work in social media and work in, assisting roles and all of that stuff. They're the ones that are going to be most of the time seeing and finding designers, right? Yeah. So it's all about going back to who's looking at the content and who is actually going to pay attention and stop. And so when we take away the word positioning, it's already a little bit more engaging. And I think if you were to say, I mean, you could go back to the prompts bank there and have a look at some hooks. But if this is, let's just imagine, give me an example of someone you've worked with recently, a business owner.
A naturopath that's starting out in the industry. Yeah.
Perfect. So a naturopath, I've worked with a lot of naturopaths, so I understand the industry. Most of the time they're women, and most of the time they are really good at their job and they have no idea about tech, marketing, websites, branding, all of that stuff. So their mind is actually in such a different place to ours that they would be thinking, oh, there's other naturopaths out there that are competing with me. Like they're getting all the clients. That's all they would really have in terms of the language. It's so minimal, So I think putting yourself in those shoes, and you don't have to use naturopath if you don't want to just attract them, but you could, depends how niche you want to go, but you could just speak about how, the experience of, I'm trying to put myself right in the experience because we've all felt it. Like I even feel it now. We all do, where you see someone who you know is competing with you online do something and it's quite successful, and you immediately have those self-doubt thoughts of like, oh shit, what can I do? What can I do to separate myself and be different from them? They're not thinking, sorry?
Brand envy.
Yes, exactly. It's envy. And so envy is a word you could totally use. And I think, people would probably be scared to use that word. But saying that you're envious of another business or another person because they have just rebranded and they look like $1 million is way more interesting than positioning, right? So it's just about like taking what you've already got and rethinking how you actually put it out instead of just going, oh, it didn't really work, I'll try something else, right? And I haven't even looked at the reel. Let's look at the reel. Positioning is all about carving your own space in the industry. Yes, so we could reframe that, right? So rather than positioning is about carving your space in the industry, you could say, when you work with me on branding, are you doing branding and strategy? Is that what this is?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll make sure that you're the one people are envious of rather than you being, do you know what I mean? Like you're sort of making it more desirable for them. But you do seem like an expert. And this is the thing. it's not bad to be seen like an expert, especially to other people in the industry, but to your clients, when you seem like an expert, you look like you know what you're talking about, but you don't look approachable. So it's about sort of figuring out how to decipher between that with your content, you know? It's tricky, but you'll get better at it. Okay.
Amazing.
And this is another example. Like it's funny because you've actually said a big corporate word. And it's interesting because I see that you're already aware of this and you're trying to do it, but also you're still using the word strategy and corporate in the hook.
Yeah.
So it's funny because it's sort of counterintuitive, but you're on the right track, you know, like, but I think
it's hard to think of how else, you know, do you know what I mean? Like without to talk about it, but still.
Totally. Yeah. And so I think what we would do is that's not the hook. It would be, okay, what's the content about? The foundation your business needs to feel clear and confident. Cheat sheet. So cheat sheet is already more relevant. Imagine having a cheat sheet for, you know, your entire business or your visuals for your business. That's what strategy actually is, you know. And I mean, I've just kind of pulled that out of my ass. It could be better, but it's more captivating to them than strategy and corporate, right? Does that help you? Do you think?
Yes, it does a lot. Thank you.
Great. Amazing. Okay. How are we going, Hayden? Are we all right for time? Did I
That was so helpful. We've got
great.
20 minutes. Do you want to see if there's anybody else, or should we
sure.
go to best ideas?
Yeah.
Hey team, is there anybody else that wants to do a quick content audit with Amy? If you just put me in the chat.
While I'm waiting, I'll just have a quick scan because I'm on here still. So I think your question at the beginning was, do you have any more? Okay, great. I've got Dan here.
Cool.
Do you have any more advice for your content? Is that what you said originally, Charlotte?
Yeah, open to any advice.
I think like keep doing those pieces that you're trying to do down here because I think they've not had enough experimentation yet because it's still being spoken to from that perspective. I think this is good, website mistakes that kill performance, but I think you could still, like those types of things are beneficial to this type of client if you can find more everyday ways of talking about them. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I know it was unpolished, I know it was unscripted, but hopefully you still got something juicy out of it. If you're looking for free resources or ways to connect, head to the show notes or Sun Mother Amy on Instagram. I'll see you again next week. Big love.